Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Oops, I've got a cord, bit of a cord light there. All right. I've just had a very last minute decision. So while I'm waiting for everybody to join me, first of all, I need somebody to tell me that they can hear me loud and clear. And I'm just going to quickly cut up some card fronts as well. So we're going to go with There's a few of you watching. Pop in and say hello. I'm just waiting so I can make sure that people can hear me loud and clear. That's not normally a problem I have, people hearing me loud and clear. If you've met me, you know what I mean. I'm just waiting on the comments. So I'm hoping that there's a comment. So just give me a thumbs up, say hello. I need one person, just one person to comment and one person to say that they can hear me. Should be able to hear that loud noise. All right. I'm not getting anything. Oh, I got a thumbs up. Okay. So I just welcome. I can't see any comments, so I'm hoping that I can see all these little emojis. Why is someone crying? Can you not hear me? Someone's crying? Is it because you've spent too much money? There's no crying needed about that. It all brings us joy. It's fine. Oops, and I just realized some of these are a bit larger than others, but that's okay. All right, welcome to the very final live of the Natalie May Extravaganza online event. So apologies, I have been missing in action. I went away for a girls' weekend, but I made darn sure I got back in time to do one little live with you guys. So that is awesome. And I hope you girls have been loving all the inspiration that's coming through. I'm just a little bit concerned I'm not getting any comments. So I'm just going to jump out and jump back in. And look, I might even send myself a comment. Well, I can see myself commenting. All right, so let me just say, can everyone hear me? Yeah, you can hear me. I've just got no comments coming through. That's okay. Someone just say hi, just so that I can see the comments coming through, because it's quite weird when you can't see things coming through and you just assume it's all good. So we are going to have a play with Lindy sprays and some embossing powder today. So I'm not going to show you my printout of the live of this. Actually, I will. This is how sad my printer is. I've just ordered some new ink. I've lost my blue and I've lost my red, like my magenta, obviously. So it's awesome. 15% off Paper Artsy. Amazing. I love Paper Artsy, and you're going to see that in what I pull out tonight. 15% off Lindy's Gang. Do I need to tell you more? No, because if you've seen me before, if you haven't, welcome. you get to hear me rambling on for the next hour or so. So that's great. So for those of you who don't know, I'm one of the design team members for Lindy's Stamp Gang. And I'm very proud to be promoting all the Lindy's products and Natalie May's products as well. They go hand in hand kind of thing. So that works for me. 15% off stamps. Let's pull out the stamps that I'm going to play with. Well, the stamps that I've pulled out. I don't know that I'm going to play with them all, but I'm prepared to. This is one of my faves. Now, I had to make sure that these were all available, and they were when I went live. So I hope that they are. So this is the Garden Romance stamp. It's a beautiful, beautiful stamp, and the leaves on it. I particularly love the leaves. So I've already pre-cut some of these. I'm hoping that I get to... I'm hoping I use this one. That's one stamp, 15% off. It's not branded. All stamps are 15% off except Natalie May. I think you got that yesterday. Another one, Art by Marlene. I've got this in the upside down, but this is the Doggy Diva. She is amazing. I love her. I've used her like 500 times. I particularly love how the color on here, it kind of looks see-through. So I'm going to show you how to recreate that. Okay, so we're going to color some stamps today as well. So I've got that one. I've just used the girl today, but this little doggy's so cute too. All right, next stamp. What have I got? How cute are All Create stamps? I could have grabbed out 500 of them, but you guys have been shopping, so some of them have gone out of stock while I've been away for the weekend. So good for you, because All Create are gorgeous. I got this one. I particularly like this little guy. He's going to be great on some boy birthday cards. So I love him. I think he's a bit funky. I already printed him out, cut it out. You don't have to see me doing any of that crap. What else have we got? Stamps. I know you've seen Tegan play with this, but if you've heard Nat, this is the bold words Art by Marlene stamp. Nat always says you got to have 3 stamps in a big bundle that you like. So for me, you can tell which ones I like the best because they're the dirty ones. I've used those. I have used that one. I must have cleaned it super well, but I love that one. This one as well. I've used Hey There, but I'm going to break out and do something different tonight. So I might use some of these ones. I've obviously used that one as well. The stars. I particularly like those stars. So we're going to use that one tonight, hopefully. I've also grabbed another, whoops, what's going on here? I haven't grabbed that one because that one's old and it's got no stamps with it. That's old. This one, which I think Nat may have used, I did miss some of the lives over the weekend. I really love this dot stamp, as you can see. The dot stamp is my fave. I have used this one, I cleaned it, but this one is my fave. So I may use that one. I've also used this one too. And those ones, but I don't want to use the same one. I know Nat used that. Now, my current favorite paper artsy stamp, big one, is this one. To the point that this isn't even in there. So I'll chuck that in there. I have been using the 8, the stars, the 5, even the flowers to death. I haven't used the 3 yet. Loving, loving, loving this set and the other 2 sets that have the numbers in them. So I haven't got those yet, but they're next on my hit list. I probably should get them now. And then this one. What do I love in this one? I think Nat used this afternoon. I caught an end glimpse of it, but I love this part. I have used this a lot, the 1, 2, 3, and I have used that splatter. I actually haven't used the bit that Nat used. So, they're not very well organised there, but so I've got those 2. I'm still going with stamps. This is what I've got pulled out in my reach to play with. Paper Arty mini stamps. Sign me up. I have a problem. Let's have a look at these. So I will show you how I store these, but I think I need a new way of storing them because it's becoming too crowded. So if anyone's ever got the Art by Marlene advent calendars every year, I keep this little baby in my excuse my cards there from my shopping. I keep this in my desk. You can't see the top of it, but you can see there. And ta-da! That's where my little paper artsy minis go. So I've got a little bit more room, and I know I have an order on the way when you girls do, so I'm excited about that. So that's my paper artsy minis. The current ones that are in stock that I have been using lately, this bad boy, which is EM151. I think there's one left of that one. This leaf stamp I do love, KCM013. I always write them on the back because I throw away the packaging. It's easier to store them. This one I've used a lot. It's KCM014. I think I'm going to be using that one tonight. This one is well used as well, 121. So it's got a nice triangle diamondy thing happening there. This one, Love Me an Arrow, EM152. And I think Nat may have used this one today as well, but this is my favorite. I love it, as you can tell. I use it all the time, and that's the TSM04. So I still cannot see any comments, so I'm just going to quickly jump out of Facebook and just jump back in really quickly. Sorry ladies, I would hate for you to be saying stuff and I can't see it. So that would be very disturbing. So just bear with me for a second. Nothing like technical difficulties on the one live that you do. All right. Let me jump there. Oh my God, there's so many comments. All right. Sorry, girls. That was clearly crazy. So hi Alison, hi Judy, hey Michelle, hey Dell. You made it for a full session and it's mine. Oh, awesome. Hi Trisha, you can hear me. Oh, that's good. Thank you for confirming, but no one else I couldn't see your comments. Leanne, hey Sandy. Yeah, I know, straight back into it. Thank you, Amy. Amy's our link ninja. Gay, Pat. Oh, hey Teagues. Okay, well, I couldn't see your comments to say restart. Okay. Right, what's the other thing that's on special? So we got dies. I'm not using dies tonight. Dies aren't my big thing, but I do use them, particularly with my Lindy. So there's that. Stencils. Let's have a look at the stencils I have pulled out just to have at my side. Current new fave. This one. I love it. Look how dirty it is. Have you ever seen a stencil so dirty on my plate? No. All right. Art by Marlene, that one is. And then I've grabbed a few small ones. No idea what the name of this one is, but I know it's Dina Wakely, so I've got that one. I'm really been loving this one lately, so that one's cool. The honeycomb one, and she's got it back in stock. Love, love, love. I love these like symmetrical, geometrical shapes, whatever they're called. And this is my all-time favorite, connected dots. I'm gonna definitely use this one. I've got an idea for this one. The rest I'm just gonna wing. All right, that's it. That's the whole extent of my plan. We're using the Lindy's tags. All right. Hey, Tash. Didn't see you there jumping in. I'm probably going to be doing a few backgrounds here, so I'm just going to pull all of these off so I can make a few, and then I will use some. But oopsie, I ripped that one. That's okay. So what am I doing with my tags after they're done, you may say? All right, let's have a little look-see what I've got going on. And it's a whole pile of mess, let me tell you, in here. I've been back for one day and I've hit, oh, there's my bill. You don't want that one. So where are we? This little baby, I don't know if there's any left, but these are the Uniquely Creative little birdhouses. Chipboard, all Uniquely Creative, a bit of Nat May collage paper in the back there. That's what I made. What am I going to do with it? It's going to be the front of my tag book. So here's a bunch of tags. I have already made. So, oops. Some I have finished, some I have not. And that's where some of these will lie tonight. So, paper artsy stamp. You girls took that one. That was going to be on there. All those. So, these fit perfectly behind there. So that's going to be my little booklet. So that's what I'm going to do with it. That's going to be my little book I'm making from scratch. All right, let's start with some colour. So first of all, I'm going to do some embossing. I have a scrap piece of paper somewhere. Oh, I don't think that's scrap. Here's one, that's scrap. All right, so this one is Gimme 5 Gold embossing powder. Lindy's embossing powders are super fine, except for the chunky ones, super fine. So what I'm going to do, and they create a really good resist for your Lindy's. Now, where's all those stamps I had before? So I am going to, I think I'm going to grab this, that one. Yep. All right, so let me just grab a quick stamp block. And some embossing ink. So we are going to, I want to put a bit of gold in my background. All right. So this ready? Tag. And before I do that, I don't want to stamp on that piece of paper because that's going to catch my embossing ink. Now I'm working quickly, but not too quickly, just to make sure that this little ink is still wet when I put my Lindy's on it. I may cover half of this up, but this is my plan so far. All right. Moving quickly onto here. So this is the Gimme 5 Gold. Okay. Mine needs a little stir. It just got a bit of a, just got a bit stuck. All right. I've had mine for years, by the way. But no issues. So give it a bit of a tap tap. Fingerprint. That's fine. All right. Yeah, some of that got off. All right, so nice and easy way. You don't need one of those fancy containers. I don't have one, and I use embossing all the time. Just fold your piece of paper in half and tap it in. Done and done. So popping that away, let's heat that. So I always just warm my heat gun up to the side, just facing another way, and I can feel it getting hot. I like to start underneath. It kind of gives it a bit of a, just sets them where they are so they don't fly off the page. Now, if you've never used embossing powder before, how do you know when it's set? You can see it change colour. I don't know if the camera will show you that, and I can't bring it up because I will burn my hand. But you can actually see it looks brown, and as it's setting, or it's heating, and the little particles are melting, it's turning gold. I will bring it up once I'm done. Here we go. Done and done. Now, I haven't got any more messages since I checked previously, so 8 minutes ago. So I'm hoping that it's worked itself out. All right. So you can see there, it's quite fine. All right. So this is going to be my base. So different ways to use your sprays. The first way is, now I might bring that back in a minute. Because I can do stuff with this while the others are drying. So let me bring this one. Let's go with 2 at once. All right. What is Facebook doing to us, honestly? All right. I think that the messages aren't coming through again. I'm wondering if I need to jump off and jump back in again. My God. Obviously, we've been doing too many Facebooks. Okay, I've got Amy there. Thank you, Amy. I can see your message. Beautiful. All right, another way to use our Lindy sprays. So let me show you one. First of all, I think I want to pull my sleeves up and make sure I've got an apron on. First things first. So I want to go with 2 colours that are I'm just trying to think my colours through. I've got the rest on the floor. So after your Lindy's sprays have been activated, sometimes the shimmer sits in the back. You've got to give them a good shake. And I will move mine up. So that's gone now, just after a good shake. And some of these are years old. I'll move that over there. I've also got my brand new, the shimmering ones that I'm going to show you how I use those because I use them all the time. All right, so I think I'm going to go with, I'm going to go with these 2. So this is Blushing Polar Bear Iceberg Azure. I'm going to get tripped up by the names of these at one stage. So starting, I'm just going to spray straight on, hoping that my nozzles work. All right, so we're just spraying straight on there, giving some good coverage, making sure I've got paper towel to wipe my nozzle. Straight away. Isn't that gorgeous? And the shimmer, it's amazing. All right, I'm going to set that one aside, but that's going to come back. It just needs to sit for a little bit. So easy as that, like that's a simple background. It's the base. That's where you start. Pop that on the ground. Now, I don't want to mess with this. So what am I going to do? I'm going to grab a piece of, there's those cards I've pulled out before. Here. I'm going to grab, no, not even that. I'm going to grab an ATC. from my ATC stack. And I'm just gonna collect all that. Could wipe it in. Isn't that gorgeous? Pick up a few more bits. Done. Oh, and a bonus dog hair. Tegan gets cat hair, I get dog hair. All right, that will be enough for that. These Lindy's mats, by the way, see how I used my heat embossing gun before? One thing that is different, and I've got my Tim Holtz glass mat underneath, so I don't use my embossing gun or my heat gun, I've got both of them, straight on my mat if I've got my paper down, because it sweats. It sweats underneath, and you'll lift it up and you'll find that it has perspired because there's nowhere for it to get out. That doesn't happen on the Lindy's mat. And everything comes off it if you clean it. I clearly don't clean it enough. But it's good to do that when you're using, because there's a lot of pigments can get on there. And I do use a lot of magicals as well, so I've got lots of colour happening. All right, next one I'm going to do is straight through a stencil. And I'm going to have a backup piece of cardstock to the side. All right, so is anybody playing along tonight? Has anybody been playing along this weekend? I think I'm going to have to go with a yellow, but what I might do is bring in a bit of copper. So I've got Cowabunga Copper and Blondie Bling. So they're both shimmer ones. So I'm going to start with the lighter colour of the two and hope that I've cleaned my nozzle well enough. Oh, that could be, let's see. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. And then I'm just going to go just kind of around the edge there. Bring my cardstock in. I still think my comments are playing up. Ooh. And I'm going to pop that down over there. Print 1, print 2. Love it. All right, sorry, cleaning my stencil as I go because I'm probably going to use them again. How good's that? Like, that's an instant background. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I love that. All right. And this one, I might just pick up a little bit of the colour. Oh, maybe not. No, I don't like that, so I'm not going to do that. But what I am going to do is bring back this ATC and grab a bit of that copper on the edge and a bit of that yellow. All right, there we go. So now I feel like I'm sitting here talking to myself because I've still got, I have to, it looks like I'm going to have to refresh the comments. So just bear with me for a sec, ladies. I think I have a solution. Oops. Yeah, it's not, okay. I'm just going to grab my mouse. Sorry, just attaching it to my random mouse, and then I can just hopefully just do a refresh where you don't have to see my hand across the screen, and hopefully I can just do a quick refresh. I have no idea what is going on with Facebook, so I'm just gonna have to do a refresh myself. You're playing postcards for the retreat, Tegan. Awesome. You've been playing too. ATCs and postcards, Susan. Excellent. Amy's doing an amazing job at link ninjaing. More belly bands. Oh, that's great, Michelle. Lovely. All right. It's obviously it just wants me to work hard for your attention this tonight. All right, let's go with another one. This one I'm going to go with some colors, and then I'm going to add to it later. So I do want a bit of a rainbow effect. So let's go with that yellow. I'm going to go with, I think I need to grab another color. Let's go with Own It Orchid. It's got pink, and then we want a blue. So we've got, oh, do I want this one? No, I'll go with this one. Penguin Play Periwinkle. And then I want to go, no, I'll go purple, blue, and then Get It Girl green. So I'm going to go with a rainbow effect, and then we're going to work on what we're going to do with that after. That's where my connected dots is coming in. All right. So this one is nothing special. I'm just giving some good colorage with my sprays. Oh, I've just moved them out of color order. All right, so that were, and this one's Own It Orchid. That's part of Nat's new ones. I'm creating a little orange in there, which is great because I couldn't find an orange. This one is Prima Donna Purple. Oh, and isn't it purple? All right, I'm getting a bit of purple up here. That's okay. I'm going to go with it. Then we've got Penguin Play Periwinkle. And we'll finish it off with, look, I'm getting a lot of spray here, so I probably should have protected myself a bit better, but that's okay. And Get It Girl green, which we'll finish down the bottom. Ooh. That's doing something funky with the nozzle, but that's okay. It's a bit loose. All right. I'm going to squish that up. Grab a bit of that. Oh, that looks really nice, actually. Let me get another one of those ATCs. All right, let's move that to the ground. To the ground. That's where all my things are drying, on the ground. And, oh, look at that. Yeah, baby. Yeah, while I'm doing that, I'll do a quick refresh of the comments. Hopefully that works. Yes, it does work. Okay. Hi, Mona. Sorry, I'm having issues with the comments, so I have to refresh every couple of minutes just to check them. I'm not sure what Facebook is doing to us. What's the name of the purple one? It is Prima Donna Purple. Hi, Nicole. Yes, there are so many lovely colors. All right, I've got a bit of a brown because my purple and my yellow were wet, but that's okay. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. ATC fronts. Right. Let's get some of that color cleaned up. Clean up some of these. Move on to the next one. So this is how I do my my tags or my postcards. And you saw Claire do hers the other night with the bulk, the way she does them in bulk, and she does a few the same. Well, this is what I do. I do my backgrounds, the messy part first. All right, so I'm gonna using the corner of that. Look how pretty that green is. Gorgeous. Okay. I'm going to go with another stencil. And I'm going to go with, oh, hang on. I'm going to do with this one first. This new fave. I'm actually going to do it like that. This is I love this one. I've used it on my gel plate. I've used it with Lindy's already. I've used it with so much stuff. I'm just trying to remember what I was going to add with this to see which color I'm going to go. Let me go with a bit of, I think I might go a bit of vintage. So let's go with a Moon Shadow Mist Gold, Long John Silver, and then I've got copper there. All right. Good shake, because look at all that. And I'll just refresh again. Refresh. And when I say refresh, I actually have to go, it clicks me out, and then I have to go back into it. Yeah, so if Nat doesn't have these colours and there's a particular colour you want, as a Lindy's brand ambassador, I get access to them all, but obviously Nat, they come in and out as they sell out. So if there's some that you want, and she doesn't have them in stock, just ask her. Nat gets orders from Lindy's quite regularly, and she can get them in for you. But you could also look at something that's in a similar tone. So the lovely Amy has shared that this Prima Donna Purple at the moment only comes in a set, but there's probably other purples there available. Again, don't know if she's got these ones. Now, these ones are funny because you spray them out and they all look brown. I was like, what set did I get here? They all look brown, but it's how they dry that make it different. So this is Long John Silver, and it's got a silver tone to it. And this one is, oh God, why do they make them so hard to pronounce? Gossamer Gold, and it's got that goldy tone to it, but you watch, it looks brown when I spray it on here. It's like, oh, she's used another brown. But they are absolutely beautiful when they dry. I will show you in possibly, oh, you'll probably see it. All right. So I probably oversprayed that a bit because I've lost a bit of my thing, but that's okay. I'm good with that. Look at that little bit there. I love that. And now look, I'm not going to waste that. You've got to have a good area of space on the ground or somewhere to put your work when you're doing these things, because they've got to dry somewhere. All right, so let's pop this here. And let me get my paper towel. Oh, look at my paper towel. How good's that? I'm not one to keep paper towel, I can tell you that right now. Ooh, I love it. I do love that. I could add, okay, let's keep going with this. How can we use that? We can keep it like that and add to it, but we can also add a lighter color. So this is a steampunk sepia, and I can just go over the top. And there's a card front. Super duper easy. And you know what? We can even do that with this one. Let's go over it with, let's do the same sepia because it's honeycomb. I use this sepia one a lot. As you can tell, it's nearly half empty. But see, because that's already set, that's dry, they're not going to move. And that's the beauty of Lindy's, is that they won't reactivate. They are permanent. All right. Let's clean this up. There's another ATC. If I'm really careful, I might be able to pick up a little bit of this pattern too. Maybe not. Let's see. Nah, not at all. Was way off. All right, I'm just going to do a refresh. I just want to make sure I'm not missing comments or... All right, I don't think I did. Oh, there we go. It's kicked me out. And I'm back in. This is really annoying. The stencil. The stencil is... yeah, that's the one. Thank you, Michelle. I have no idea. And Amy has linked you there. So thank you, Amy. Okay. So look at those. They're going to be great. They're all, I can see them drying over here and they do look really nice. All right. So I'm just going to clean that up. I had my eye on this stencil when it came out, but I went with the other one. I was trying to limit myself. I don't know why I did. I went with the other one, and I can't remember what that's called either. It's still available too. It's a circle one with things, but I got this one just recently, and I was like, damn it, why did I get the other one first? I knew this one was my favorite. I should have just gone with my gut, and it is my favorite. I'm loving all the little bits, all the little details, and yeah, I love it. All right, let me bring back this one. Now, this is nearly dry, so you don't get, there's not much on the back. There's nothing coming through on the back. So let me grab a stencil. All right. And then let me grab, so you know that they're going, if you buy sets of Lindy's, you know that most of them will go good together. I don't recall, and I could be wrong, but I don't think there's any, oh no, they could be. So you know that they're going to either complement each other or they'll blend together when they're wet. Either way, they're all along the same tone. So this Iceberg Azure is, you know, this is the blue that matches this pink, if that makes sense. All right, so not sure what the stencil is called. It's Pointed or something like that. It's Dan Wakely. So I'm going over just a little bit. I'm trying not to overdo this one. And then I might get another card front. Oh, look at that. I love that. How good's that? Da, da, da. And how quick was that? Like, I've literally got 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 2 cards, 4 tags, and nearly 3 card fronts. And look at that. I love that too. All right. I do use a bit of baby wipes when I'm, because it's got to come, the Lindy's has got to come off the stencils. I don't want to sit here watching it dry, and I'm not going to have it drying on there. But B, I don't want the permanent pigment to stay on my stencils with Lindy's. All right. Now, what can I add to this one? Let's add a bit of Pretty in Pink. I'll just quickly do another refresh. That is really, really annoying. I'm sure Tegan and Amy will answer any questions you've got if I don't get to it. So good. The other thing I love to do, you know I love splatters. Well, these are like splatters made in a bottle. I constantly splatter with these things. Let's add a little bit of the blue. And stop, Naomi. And look at that. Beautiful card front. Add some sediments, add a focal point. Cuttables are great on these. And we're done. All right. What else are we going to do? Oh, let's go. Hang on. Let's have a look at these ATCs. So look at that. It's not quite dry, so you can't see the colours in that. Oh, that's looking great. That's looking great. I think I might pick up a bit of this on this one. That pops of that pink. Oh, got a bit of blue there. But because that part's dry, it's layering. So I've got a layered effect. All right, chucking those over the side and cleaning up my mess. So I think I've got one more tag before I move back to that other one that I started with the embossing powder. And then we will work on some, what else I do with my, oh, I lie. I've got 2 more tags. So, what's another thing that I do with my Lindy sprays? All right, let me have another refresh while I have a quick think. Thank you, Tegan. All right. Okay, one thing I do. Let's see. Who wants to give me a colour? Actually, let's go green. Green with a hint of time travel teal. So this is a fave. And I've got Drop Dead Gorgeous Green. That's from the same set that the Prima Donna Purple is from. So a couple of colours along the same lines. And I just totally forgot what I was going to do with this, but I've got my greens out. I'm really tired. We had, oh, I know what I'm doing. It's all right. Just gonna grab one of these out. All right, so this is my KCM Paper Artsy Mini 014. And I am going to start, actually, I'm going to start with these greens. So yeah, last night I was down at my coast house. Oh, that's nearly clogged, but I actually really like that. Okay, I'm going to do the other one and then we're going to do that over the top because that looks really cool. That was a happy accident, wasn't it? All right. I actually really like that. I'm going to do that again. See if I can. Yeah, quite like that. Yeah, there was our van down the coast had some bikies staying at the hotel in front, and they were up till 2 a.m. and I heard the lot. All right, it's funny. I can see your likes and your, you know, the thumbs up things as they come through, but I just can't see the messages as they come through. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to stamp with this. So I'm going to pop it in here. Now what you want to do is you want to stamp around because you want to get it on there, but because it's liquid, it doesn't act like ink. And this is going to move because this is wet. If you wanted it to stay a bit more firm, then you do it when it's dry. But I want it while it's wet because look at that. I could keep doing that all night. All right. And then ta-da, beautiful. I love that. I love that background. It's probably all going to move as I move it to the floor. All right. Put that there, that one. This one's got to dry. So I'm waiting for this one to dry because I'm going to do something else with that one. I'll put that one back down. All right. Okay, let me just check that I've got. All right. So yeah, this is my wet play. I play with all the things that are oh, thanks, Teagues and Amy. So yeah, I do all the wet, and then another night I come in with the dry. So let's have another go at, look, let's do this one with two more sprays. Let's go, let me go to copper with a blue, with a teal. Oh, let's do that. Okay, let's go the copper. Oh, I did say I'd bring in my blingies, didn't I? Which are right here, but that's okay because they come in later. So let's try this while it's wet. It will have a bit, it won't be as, so if you want a clear, crisp stencil outline, you need to wait till it dries. If you don't care and you're happy with a bit of smudging, then go do what I do and go to town. All right, and we will pop that there. Oh, wow. And we'll put that, look at that. Ooh, ooh, ooh. See, one of my favorite stencils. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right. And this one, because I sprayed on one side, but I put it down on the other side, I might actually get a double stamp with the brown. I did. Ooh, 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 love that. All right, I could probably pick up a little bit of that too. Don't mind me, that's a old cuttable that I needed. All right, cleaning up, and then we move on to, right, we're done with the spraying of the sprays. So, of course, it's the most natural thing that sprays are used for sprays. So there's a few different ways you can spray, but spraying through a stencil is the easiest and simplest way to do a background. And stamping with those stencils on your journals or on your ATCs or whatever you're doing, we've got so many things now. Your tags, your postcards, I love it. I love the variety. You know, that's a great way to make a background, quick background. Okay. The other way is to paint them on. So let me just grab, I think I left my favorite, Lindy's, this one. The Lindy's paintbrushes are my fave, followed by the Art by Marlene ones, and they're all different sizes, so I don't mind the Uniquely Creative one either, but they're a bit smaller. But for this purpose, it's the only one I can find. All right, so I'm going to go with Pretty in Pink. Now, when you use the, when you paint onto something with Lindy's, whether it be your Magicals made up or your sprays, you need to make sure that if you want to keep them clean and you're colouring something in, you don't want them to touch. I might actually bring this one down a bit, so I'm just going to bring my camera down, and I have to wait to hopefully that's okay. It's right in my way, but that's okay. I just want you to be able to see a bit better. Oh, Tegan, the gold embossing paddle was gimme 5 gold. All right, so I'm going to go straight out of the bottle for this. So just pop that over there. And I'm just going to go straight in. with the green. So as I said before, the gold is a resist, but I also don't want, I don't want those flowers to be green. So I'm just going to be really careful around there, and then I can go in a bit quicker. So I'm just going to move this around. And I'm going to go in here. So I'm not going right up to the edge. Well, some places I am, but some places I'm not. I'm okay with that. But that's you know, if you don't want to make a mess with your magicals and making them up, you can always just paint straight out of your spray bottle. And the other thing you can do is you can still blend your colours in. So I've got a bit there, and let me move on to my, let me just wash that and go to my Get It Girl green, which I'm going to have to soak that nozzle, although I did really, really love that spray. Oops, we just had to roll away. All right, so then that's going to be a big drip, so I'm just going to move that down here. But so they'll blend there because they're wet, but that's okay because they'll naturally blend together, and they will just mold into one. Just be careful, don't put your dirty paintbrush, if you do touch them, back in to your pot because it will contaminate it. And then up here, because it's still wet, it will mold into each other and kind of create its own little colour. So you get a really nice blend there because it's wet. All right. So I'll just get that in there really quickly. And then I might just do a clean that off. Refresh. Click my comments. So glad I got my mouse out. All right, and then we're going to go in with the next one. So, yeah, the green is really nice, Robin, you're right. What have I missed? What have I missed? Oh, will you get a nice effect with salt with the Lindys? Oh, I would love to see you try that, Nicole. I haven't actually tried that before, so I don't know. All right, so this is pretty in pink. And again, so I'm going to get that out. I'm also going to grab my Prima Donna Purple back out. And I'm going to have the two ready because I do want to do that blend. So I'm going to start with my lighter colour. So see how it resists. I'm going to be careful going out here because I don't want to go past it. You can get some beautiful, beautiful blends with your Lindy's colours blending together. So if I went over that gold right there into that green because it's still wet, I'm going to get the most beautiful brown because pink and green do make a beautiful brown. So if you've got shaky hands or you're not sure, the best thing to do is just to dry it. So what I want to do here is grab my purple and I'm just going to touch. So I'm just touching with my purple. So just smidgen. So how good does that look? Like, how good is that? I'm actually going to cover these up, you know. Maybe I won't. I've got some already cut out, ready to go on top of them. But maybe I'll just have to pivot on that idea and stick with what I've done here. But, I mean, that when they dry, that's going to look amazing. Oops, I just dribbled some. All right. So these two are really close together because they join. But you get the idea. You can really like make a magical background without using your magicals, but just by using your sprays. And they are different. You wouldn't get that sprayed clean look that you get just by spraying the edge of your, see, that's really fine just there. I'm just gonna be really careful around that bit there. You don't get that clean spray of color with your magicals that even if you make them up, that you do get with the sprays. So I'm only going to do that bit there. I'll clean that one up, get rid of that one. All right, I'll bring that purple in. It kind of goes its own way. Yep. Or where you drip it. And you don't have to have any rhyme or reason for it. But this one here, I'm going to go from the outside in, and look at that, is very close to the green. And there we go. All right. I nearly just splattered that all over there, but I'm not going to. All right. Let's pull that away very carefully. And let's look at my focal points. Where is the thing I prepared earlier? All right, so I've got some stamping and some cutting out. So let's use our colours. We nearly had. So I've got some leaves. Let's start with her because she's definitely going on one. I'm not going to do them all with you guys. Like, I'm not going to keep you all night. First things first, we need a skin colour. My favourite at the moment to use for skin colour is of course, is Fierce Female Flush. And how natural that it is what I go to for my skin colour. So, quite a bit of a smaller brush I'm going to go with. I think that one is maybe a bit too small. Oh, what's that one? Anyway, That one's too small as well. All right, I'm just going to go with these. So what I like to do with my skin tone, I mean, you can go with a chocolate one if that's what goes for you, but I'm not good with it. So I just put a light, I might actually pop a little bit out there and then I can just pick that up easily. So I'm just putting a really light amount on over her skin. And then what I do is after I've done one coat, is I start layering the same colour. I just start layering it up with the same colour where I want a bit of extra pigment, I guess, in her skin. And sometimes the image itself will show you that. So you can see here on her, like under her arms and there around her neck, that's already got it. Her knees have it as well. Now, to do this part to make it see-through, I did say I'd show you how to do that. All right, let me just quickly check. And I've got some random pink paint over here, so I'm just going to clear. So see how it's see-through there? So we can make that happen. Let me just refresh my comments. And what do we got? Oh, hello, Janice. Welcome, welcome. We are just doing some tags and we've moved on to our focal points, some stamps, which are 15% off at the moment. So we're moving on to this girl. She's going to be our focal point. So what we need to do here to make that happen is we need to colour her whole thigh. So this just the same thing I've done, keeping the same shade all the way down. This is coming out really pink for some reason, but that's okay. And the same on the other thigh. So I like to have a few different images stamped out, ready to go. I have to be honest, I don't normally cut them first. I cut them after, but for the sake of you guys sitting there watching me do this, I was not going to put you through any fussy cutting. So now that I've done that, I might give it a chance to dry later, but this part up here, I haven't used a lot. So I'm just going to tap in with a bit of extra. So I'm just really getting into those areas. This one's great that it's already done it for you. Sometimes images, they're on the back of, like you can see them on the back of the photos of them. I always put a bit of a hot flush on her. You know, we're all having hot flushes, so why shouldn't she? In her cheeks. And then I'll just start going over it again. Just to add that little bit of extra to her. So then I move down to her legs. So these parts are already done, as I said before. But what I like to do is give her a bit of a shadow under her skirt, or at the edge of her skirt, I should say. So we've got a bit of a uneven. Now, it will change as it dries, so you might need to dry it and then go again. But it definitely does change as it dries. So if it's not dark enough in those areas that you want it to be darker, then yeah, hot flush with female. Yeah, that's exactly right, Tegan. Who would have thought? So let me just bring her face up so you can see the cheeks, her sweat marks, her knees. And then we're going to go in here and just extend that, and then just under her skirt line, just to make a shadow, but not, like, I don't want a full shadow, but like you can't really not have a shadow when you've got a skirt on. Well, not in my art world here, you can't. All right, so what I'm going to do while we're still going on her, and I don't want to get rid of I'm just going to give her a quick dry, and we'll just have a look at how that actually comes up. Dry from the back. Put the wind up a skirt. So you just want to see before you start doing more layers that, you know, that's where it's drying. So you can see there, I could probably add a little bit more, and I might. So I might just add, not much, but just go in with another bit of a, I think her cheeks are okay. Just another bit of a layer. All right. In around her knees. And on there. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I forgot one crucial part, the cleavage. I forgot to give her some, you know, bit of depth in her cleavage. Goodness me. How rude of me. A bit in there too. The crevice of her arm. All right, I've got a bit of extra something there. Alrighty. So we just might put her over here just to dry a bit. Now, what other one am I going to use? I definitely have to use one of these. And I haven't cut that bit out yet, but I'll do that later. And some of these leaves, definitely the leaves. And we've got the single leaves as well. All right, so let's go with the green first. Same green I used before, which is Drop Dead Gorgeous green. So what I might do this time, actually, is start with the Get It Girl green and then add my depth. All right, so let me just do a quick refresh. This is really annoying. Thank God I'm doing it quickly now. All right. All right, brush. And I'm just going to add that. Just really randomly on both those leaves. Like, I'm not being precise at all. And then what I want to do is grab my darker green, and I'm going to add, it depends how you want to do your leaves. Sometimes you can have your leaves with the deeper parts in the middle, or if you want it on the edge. Today, I've decided it's on the edge. And what I should do is put some out here. And I'm just tapping, because that's wet, it's going to move. And it's going to move the way it wants to move, not the way I want it to move, which is totally fine. This one, not as wet. Nope, still going. Okay, so that's fine. All right, so let's bring that up to camera. So can you see how it gives it its own, like it's not one tone, it's like two tones, but it's not in any absolute order. So I might add a little bit more depth to it and just touch those edges one more time. And same over here. So nice and easy to do. Clean my brush, pop it back in that green, light green. That Get It Girl green is actually really nice. Is that the one you were talking about, Robin? That's the green you liked, or you just liked both those greens combined? And I'm being anything but delicate here. Oops, that one joined completely. So, is anybody going away for Easter? Right, that looks gorgeous. I'm just going down the coast. I think I've already said that. So, I will cut that bit out. You like that green, Amy? Yep, me too. I can actually see your comment on my phone while I was looking up there. I still can't see them on my laptop for some reason, but I can't look at the phone all the time because it's recording and I'm not looking at it. It's meant to be looking at me. All right, a bit more of that green. Just tap it in. You could just tap it at the bottom of the leaf if you wanted. Which apparently I haven't coloured that part there, so that works. Bit there. And there as well. Super easy to colour your things. All right, let's go with this guy. He's pretty funky. I actually really like him. And I'm going to do him because I've got my greens out, but I'm also going to add in a smidgen of copper. All right, let's see if it works. So I'm going to start with, I'm not going to be as heavy-handed with the, oh, apparently I am. Okay, so we're going to go with a bit of this green. Sometimes if you're not sure where to stop and start with your stencils, your stamps, like where one part of, just look at the packaging. So you can see that, like that's his tail, there's his arms, that's his hat up there. So I don't want to be colouring his hat in these colours. But I'll pop in a bit of that green there. Okay, oh, his eye's a little bit green now. All right, and then I'm going to move on to this green. So we're going to go, I'm actually just going to go over, oh, maybe not. I was going to go over those dots there and come back to them, but it worked. And his tongue's there. I have cut his tongue off because I wasn't cutting, I don't fussy cut that stuff. I don't have time for that. All right, let me see my comments while I'm busily painting these guys. Make sure I haven't missed anything. Oh, yes, Tegan. I also got the chickens. I got the chickens as well. I'm surprised you didn't get this one, Teags. All right, so I'm just going to go down his arm there. So it's really easy to colour things with magicals, and it just gives a different, I mean, I used to love colouring pencils back in the day. I don't really love them anymore. I know some people do, but it's just, I'll sit there and do some adult colouring, but I don't last long because I want to be doing, it's not messy enough for me. So I'm just going to add a little bit of that teal in. But it's so easy for you to, you know, to give your projects a little bit of, you know, a different interest just by dabbing a bit of Lindy's around the place, and you can get such cool effects. Yeah, I mean, look at that. How cool is his colours? And I totally just have winged that. And then I'll add a little bit of copper in there. Oh, you're staying home and crafting. I love that. I'm taking craft with me, by the way. It's meant to be raining the first 3 days that I'm away. All right, so I'm going to add in a bit of this copper. A bit around his eyes there. A bit down there. A little bit in his tail. Yeah, I like that. It's cool. Check him out. Isn't he cute? All right, let's give him oh, you know what? Let's give him this blue hat. Well, I've got the blue out. Probably need a little bit more. So that's the time travel teal. All right, being really careful here because I want to have some different tones. Well, clearly not the polka dot that I just went over because that didn't work. I'll bring that copper back in for the, I don't know if I'll keep the log or not, but if I do, let's make it, I assume it's a log. He's got his little body on, peering over there. And I've just stamped this on Nellie Mae cards, Nellie Mae scrapbooking, like just cardstock. The same, it's probably on the back of an old cuttable that I didn't use. But it's the same cardstock. I have a heap of it because it is the best. But look how it's taking the Lindy's. Like perfect. I might go with the copper up here actually, just to bring that copper in. And I'm being really careful not to go over the blue because it's still wet and I don't want it to spread out into that. And then that's meant to be a flower, I think. All right. So that's pretty easy to colour him. I'll probably cut those flowers off, to be honest. And I think they're from his hat, so I could probably have done that. But he's so cute. All right. Let's see. Let's quickly finish her, and then we'll go back. How long have I been going? Not even an hour. Perfect. All right. All right, let me check what you're all saying to me. Oh, Tegan's in a new caravan. I know. Isn't she lucky duck? She deserves it. You want to get out that chameleon stamp and colour him? Yeah, go for it. You ran out of dollars and decision had to be made. You went with the dogs. Yes, colouring is therapeutic, Amy. You're right. Oh, you know what? Nothing like being forced to stay home. All right, let's get her coloured. Now, I think I might go with the purples. I'm going to stick with the colours that she had here. So I'm going to go with the Prima Donna purple. And I think I'm going to go with the Pretty in pink. All right. So what do we do with this outfit? So to get that effect, this is what I did. I literally just went straight over the top of what I'd already done with the other colour. And I need some more of that other colour because I'm running out. So just straight over the top of the one we've got. And because they layer, Like that's how we get the different effect, because I'm not putting any more or any less on the bits without the thighs in them. That sounds weird, doesn't it? It's also just the stamp. All right, and then I'm going to go into the purple. Now, to bring these to life, all we need to do at the end, when they're nice and dry, and you stick them onto your project, is to add a bit of white paint pen or white gel pen. You give a bit of shape around the boobs, add a bit of, a bit of white dots through her, polka dots through her skirt down there, and you have brought your stamp to life. So this is actually quite therapeutic as well. It's like colouring. People get it's therapeutic colouring, and I don't know, this is easy colouring. So then what I like to do is just to blend those two together. So I'm going to add a little bit more pink, smaller brush, just dab in some of that pink into here. I've got a big drip of water going down there. I don't want that on my page. It's nothing definitive, but it's just adding that in. You can also add in a few bits there, all the way along these bits. And even up here. As you can see, I'm not precise. Add in her love heart. And then her hair, whatever colour you would like her hair. Bit on the tattoo there. I don't go fully to town with the tattoo. I just give it a bit of, give it a nice little bit of colour. And then we get, let's get a bit of, we'll give her some copper hair. Bit of copper hair. So as you can see, it's just a bit of a squiggle of a hair, but I just colour that in that I've cut around, because ain't nobody's going to be fussy cutting any further detail than that, that's for sure. There you go. So she's got a nice bit of hair. We're going to add some of this blue for her shoes down here, or socks, whatever they are. I haven't quite worked it out. I think they're just decorative boots. No, decorative socks, because that's the shoe down there, which I'll do. And maybe I'll just make these striped. Might give her a bit of blue eyeshadow. And a little bit of colour on that. And on there. On there. She's nearly done. All right, all right. Oh, how did I get those? Nope, that didn't work. I just realised that some messages popped up, but they must have been from before. Oh no, I got them. All right, so she's looking pretty good. We're just going to add some final touches to her. So I am going to grab out, sorry, I forgot her shoe. This is Narwhal Navy. It's from the same set as the Periwinkle Blue. So what I'm going to do is just give her shoes. Give her a bit of blue shoes down the bottom there. And touch on those daisies and a bit of the blue up the top. Bring it in there. All right, she can move aside. Right, last thing I'm going to go with is just one of these, and then we will put some finishing touches on the rest of them. So these ones, let's go with those pinks. Let's go with Blushing Polar Bear. Can't even remember which ones I've used. And Owner Orchid. Pour a smidgen out. That's a lot. All right, I'm going to use my bigger brush here. And I'm just going to slop it on. I don't want to waste that, so what am I going to do? I'm going to grab this ATC here. So that's that gleaming gold. Can you see the gleaming gold that I've picked up from that one? In the shimmer. It is gorgeous. But I'm not going to grab that one because it doesn't have it on it. So I'm going to grab that. A bit there. Just so I don't waste too much of it. Stick that aside. And then while that's still wet, get in there with that deeper one. And same over here. All right. Super easy to colour up those. Done. Done, 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 done. Before I move on from these ones, so this is the Glitz Spritz. So these are the new ones. And this is the Lichen Lilac. God, these, if you think Lindy's are shimmery on their own, boy, have these things proven that wrong. So it's going to be hard to show you on screen, but trust me when I tell you that it definitely is. That's not going to come up well. I'll put those aside. Let me see if I can find something else that I can... I know. All right. So this is a normal shimmer, right? Normal shimmer. See the shimmer? Yep, you can see the shimmer. Right. Let me get... let's go with this one, the Shimmering Siren. All right. And this is what I do, is I just... yeah, I'm just going to make sure I feel like my phone... I may just plug my phone in for a little bit. Sorry, ladies. Oh, nope. Didn't mean to do that. Oh, my God, what has it done? Sorry, girls. Now you get to look at me. Hi. That way. There we go. We're back. Okay, so let me flick that on there by the thousands. Give it a good dry. I hope that didn't, I think I tilted that. All right, so let me dry this and then I'll bring it up and show you. Might dry some of these other things while we're at it. All right. I've been going for an hour and I haven't created one thing. All right, and for some reason you're now not zoomed out. God, I don't know what this thing's doing. So now you can see all the mess that I've got, and you're not even close. All right. I'm going to bring you back up in a minute anyway, so that's okay. So look at that. That is those shimmers on top of something that's already shimmery. That's how I can show you that. All right. I'm going to go up a bit, so just look away. But I'm not sure why it's zoomed out even more. God, what is Facebook doing to me today? All right, I'll go back down because that's way too far for you girls. So sorry. I don't even know what is going on. All right, let me bring back this baby. It's going to need to have a little bit dry. Ooh, she looks good on there. I didn't even know if I was going to use her on there yet, so I wonder what that is. All right. We want to dry on both sides. We want to make sure all those fibres are dry. And the front does feel dry, but the back feels wet. So we'll make sure all those paper fibres are dry. It is. I think it's preferable, particularly with sprays, because they are so liquidy. I mean, look at that. That's just curling because I'm drying it. That you definitely do leave them to dry overnight naturally. All right. So that is dry, but because I've put heat to it, so I'm just going to give it a bit of a. I'm just going to shape it a bit myself. All right, so I've done this before with other mediums, and I've definitely done it with Lindy, so I'm going to do it again because I love this effect. All right, so what am I going to use here? I'm getting some black gesso. I'm getting a makeup sponge. Or not. I'm getting an old makeup sponge and I'm going to trim the end off. These are just Kmart, good old Kmart makeup sponges. So I'm going to grab a bit of that out here and stick. Oh, that was a lot. I might try and put that back in there. All right. I'm going to make sure that that's nice and flat. All right. So with Lindy's and gesso, white gesso will colour. It will change colour. It will not be straight white. Depending on the colour you're putting it over the top of, it will depend on what colour it changes. Mostly it's pink. Mostly if there's any sort of red undertone to your, and sorry for the bouncing, but if there's any red undertone to your pigment, your white gesso will turn pink. And that is simply for the simple fact that white gesso on a highly pigmented powder, dry or not, it's always going to have that colour come through. But black gesso, we don't have that problem. So I often do this with black gesso on this stencil. So if you've been around for a while, you've probably seen me do this before. But I just love it. Look at that. And I'm not even done yet. That is not the finished product because, and look, I'm not cleaning it because there's more to go. All right. What am I going to do with this mess? You guessed it. I'm going to add some black splatters. So let's just make that into a wash and splatter on there. So that background is nearly done. Simple Lindy sprays, black gesso. Done and done. All right, let's clean up this mess. Baby wipes. Refresh my screen. Oh, thanks, girls. I can see those comments now. All right, let me just clean this up so I can bring in the next thing. So that's my first one, and she's going to go on there, okay? So she is that focal point. Let me see what I'm going to do with, let me just cut the flowers off this guy because I'm not colouring them. I couldn't be bothered. I've had not a lot of sleep. Oh, so the other part of my story about the bikies, and they were fine. They were just loud. I have no problems with them, but they're just loud. Is that not only did I couldn't go to sleep because of them making noise, but at 8:30 this morning, I woke up to to them leaving. So that was also fun. All right. Which other one am I going to use? I think I'm going to use this one. Whoopsie. I just dropped it. This one. And I think he's going to be on there. Oh, yeah. Yep. He's so cute, right? He's so cute. Okay. I didn't even colour his other two little mates. I don't even know where they went. But I could have put, there, this guy. So I could have put them both on there. Ooh. Maybe, and where's the other one? This little one she's doing the grocery shopping. So I could have put 3 on there, but I'm going to stick with 1. And I'm going to put him up here, but I can't have him floating. So, and remember, all I've done on this background is those sprays. So these are those moon shadows. So let me show you. I can see the difference. So remember, I had 2 different brown moon shadows. One had a silver undertone and one had a gold. I'm hoping you can see that. So over here, and down here is that gold. And then up through the middle is that silver. Oh, thanks, Marilyn. So, as I said before, new favourite stencil, Labyrinth by Art by Marlene. And let's make it into something. Move these leaves. Actually, I might even use one of these leaves. Ooh, I might use one of these leaves. And look, I don't even have to cut it. I'm going to use one of these leaves. Right, let me bring out my stamps. Because I know exactly which stamp I'm going to use. So let's get, oh God, I've got a mess in here, guys. You should see it. And I'm going to have to work in this desk tomorrow, quite possibly. All right. New fave stamp. I love these parts. I also love that little bit of words, but I do love the thing. So I'm going to go with, let's go with 3 because I haven't used 3 yet. All right. So, oh, there's a word I used earlier. Now, he's going to be, I think he's already on a ledge, hey, but I think I want him to be in the middle, but I think I'm still going to bring something out there, and I reckon I'm going to use some of my good old trusty deli paper. So I reckon I can get a bit of this. Now, I am going to have to put it in more than one place because, you know, rule of 3. But all I'm going to do is rip off a bit there also. Maybe another piece. They might be a bit too big, but we'll see how we go. All right, so let's just get the gel medium out. That's not gel medium. Where's my gel medium? Gel medium. You working gel medium? All right. Okay, so let's get this on here. So that's just my gel press deli paper that I have been, you would have seen Tegan was doing exactly the same thing. Using it as leftover paint to get one layer off so you can work on the next layer. I'm actually going to put 2 layers here. And this will bring that green in of the leaves that I'm going to add as well. I could add another guy down here if I wanted to, but I'm not gonna. Because he could sit on that ledge and then I could have another one up there. All right, so we'll just pop those on there. Okay, I'm happy with that. And now I'll bring in my stamping. Once I dry. Quick dry. Oh, thanks, girls. All right. Now, let's get our stamping. That's not stamped. Take 2. Archival ink. Now, have to make sure it's up the right way when you do this one. So, I'm going to pop a bit of it behind there, and then I'm just going to layer it up. Oh. That's the other thing with these. They stick to the Lindy's mat. I just love them. I don't know what it is about having a big fat number on my page, but now I feel like I need all the numbers. I'm also not finished with these Lindy's sprays either, by the way. I'm thinking I might bring this one back in. This was the KMC 014. And it's just a bit of a... just going to add to there. That one will probably be covered up completely, but that's okay. And a bit over there. All right. I think I also may use that in a minute. All right, let me get my glue. I'm sorry about my camera. I don't know what happened to that when I accidentally flipped it either. So now you can see half my lap. But you know, oops, before I do that, I just remembered that's got to go in there. All right, pop that in there. I really, really, really love the leaves on this Art by Marlene stamp. I honestly, if it was just leaves, I think I would buy it just for the leaves. And I've got 1,000 leaf stamps, but I don't know, there's just something about that one that they're just different. They're a bit more realistic, I reckon. And look, I could even pop, oh, I could pop that one on top with a foam dot. or 2? Ta-da. Alrighty. Now, I'm actually thinking I want to put some arrows pointing towards him. And I'm going to need like to find a crazy quote that's like, he's all kinds of crazy or something like that, because he's a little bit funny, this guy. And I have to colour his tongue too. I haven't forgotten that, but I do have to colour his tongue. I'm just going to chuck that on the end of this tiny block that is so inappropriately sized for this stamp, but I do want to chuck that there with maybe a smidgen of that. And then there also. Yeah, baby. I love that. Okay, that just came together in a heartbeat. All right, so there's that. I'll add a quote. I'll probably go around those black arrows with my white pen, but that's pretty cool. All right, moving on. We're finishing this in speedy style. What's next? It is it's my chick. Okay, this one. We're finishing her, and she's going to be standing in that. So we've created that. She looks so good. All right, let's add some polka dots to her dress first. Now remember what I said about white paint pens and that they, do I even have a white paint pen that's not the tiniest nib you've ever seen? Apparently not. Oh, I wonder if that will do them. Okay, I don't know where I got this one from, but it's a Posca. So let's just straighten her skirt out. Come on, love. So all I'm going to do, because we've got pink magicals under there, I don't want white dots, but I'm using a white Posca, so they're only going to be just lighter pink. So I just want them to be I just want them to be a faded pink dot. So this is probably not the right pen to use it with, but I couldn't find anything else, so that'll have to do. And then we're gonna just give her a bit of a enhancement in the bust. I don't think she needs it, but here we are. And add a few little white lines there. A little bit down there. A little bit of highlighting. And she looks pretty good. The only thing I've missed is, and I'll find a Tombow. Let's give it some hot red lipstick. Amazing. She does look amazing. I could go around her with a sponge just to make it a bit like to hide the fussy cutting, but I'm okay. I'm okay with that. I'm going to put it on this side, and then I can put some quotes down here. But let me show you how I enhance this. All right. Night, Michelle. Yes, Tegan. Totally for you. All right. So, because I've used black gesso and white pens go hand in hand, except for that bit because it's still wet. So I'm not going to do this whole thing with you guys, but this is a technique I use all the time, and it is great. So look what we've got here. We've got black magical splatters. So they're like in the background. This is in the foreground, and then we're going to enhance these. So all we're going to do is and this is very therapeutic, but let me do a few and just show you how it enhances and just changes it completely. And because this page has no white on it, this is giving balance to the page. So look at that. It is awesome. So I'm going to pop her on there. I'm going to finish the whole page of this, pop her on there. I'll give her a Stabilo shadow line, and then I'll pop a quote on there. So that's another one that's done. I'm not going to do that on page with you because I want to keep going. Now, I've got two options for these. So those ones, they're still a little bit wet because I use so much on them. So my idea for this one was, and these are wet too, was that I was going to layer those with those underneath, but I could easily layer them on here too with the honeycomb background with, you know, these in the background. So that's, I could easily layer that there too. And I didn't, I'm going to have to cut some more leaves and colour some more leaves. So I'm going to leave this one. It's definitely not finished, but it's got a lot of liquid on it. So I'm going to let that dry overnight and let us, oh, should I use this one actually? Should I use this one, or is the leaves going to get hidden? The leaves are going to get hidden, aren't they? I'm going to cut that bit out, by the way. I think I might go back to this one. Although these little guys would go good on here too. I don't know. I'm very indecisive. It's definitely not that one. All right, let's do this one. I need these to dry and I need some more leaves. Let's do this one, and we're going to go with something completely different. So what's the other things that are on special today is ephemera. These from Tim Holtz are on special. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab out a frame, and I'm going to go with, there's a green frame here somewhere, or a brown one. We could do a brown one. That one works. Oh, there's a green one. All right. I'm going to go with the green frame. I love me a frame. I haven't finished yet. I'm going to grab a is that the right tin? I'm going to grab me an Art by Marlene something or other. Oh, that looks cute. What else do I want? What else do we want to try? I want a big one. So, oh, that actually, that works better. Sitting on the frame. I do like that. I do like that chicken. That one. That one's quite cute. I think I'll go with this one. All right, so let's get this background finished. So we're going to bring in a few things here. Oh, I literally just started a whole nother thing, you know. I was about to wrap it up and then I've just had a brain fart. So if you feel like you don't want to stick around for my brain fart, feel free to go. But it's happening right now. Okay. So this one, actually I don't need that. So there's that other stamp in the background. See, because it was wet, it's blended in, but it's given some interesting effects there. And I'll just do a quick refresh. I did see that thing that Nat showed. it works. Oh, awesome. Good to know, Teagues. I actually don't seem to have a problem with these ones. I seem to run out of them is my problem. All right. So this is the Paper RTT SM04. It's the dots. And I'm going to... I love this stamp. You would have seen this. I've used this so many times. It is a well-loved stamp by me. I do love it. This one's going to go on the block. And yeah, let me just pop that there. Pop that there. I do love that. There was a few left when I started my live, so if there's none left, it's snooze you lose, I guess. And this one was, sorry, I didn't, KCM 013. All right. All right, so this is going to be nice and quick because, first of all, I'm going to get a I'm going to get a white gel pen or a paint pen if I can find one. So I've just got my white paint pen. Oh, actually, that was silly of me. I just need to get a fatter one. This one. I don't know if Nat has these left, but the Posca, Life of Colour, like everyone has their own favourites, whatever floats your boat. So colouring these because we haven't got much white for our balance. I literally buy dot stamps so I can colour them in. That is my thing. I do it all the time, especially over my Lindys. I love it. It changes the page and it's super easy. Look how quick that was to do, literally. All right. So thank you for joining me while I wrap up and finish this one off. Thank you for joining me. You girls have been amazing. I know there's some of you that have been watching all the lives and they'll all be available on YouTube if they aren't already. I do need to fix that up as well. You girls have rocked it with the shopping, and so you should. Like, I know I look forward to these weekends on the teaching side of thing, but also I used to always make sure that, you know, I may have broken records on the amount of orders that I've done on these weekends. So I love it. I love that you get to, for those of you that spoil yourself on these weekends that we have, or it's only one weekend now, that we have through the year. Good on you, I say. Everyone has their vices, and I might pop him up actually. He can go on last, but we need to change this. So let me get a Tombow. And add a bit of colour in there. Oops, that was a little bit too much water. So I just wanted it to be a little bit more. And as you can see, I'm not doing anything special there. Just a little bit more than what was already there. Just to make that stand out a little. So just do that. Give it some love. Bit of liquid love there. And a bit more water. There we go. So it's just a little bit something else. This guy is going to have, I'm going to get my Stabilo out, which is in a, oh, which Stabilo am I up to is more the point. All right, so I'm going to give this frame a bit of an edge there. Just do a quick refresh, make sure I'm not missing anything. And thank you for bearing with me with my technical difficulties. Oh, thanks, Susan. The lives have been good. I have caught up on most of them. So just activating that Stabilo, giving that shadow to the frame. And a bit down there. All right, we'll get some foam dots, which I've put in a very safe spot. He's going to be up on those. Oops. So, ladies, don't forget, these sales all end tonight at midnight, I think it is. But that is it. That is the sales done and dusted. How cute is that? I need a sentiment. What is my sentiment going to be? I have no idea. Let's see if I can squeeze one of these onto it. Hey there would be great. But I think it's too big. Or what if I do it on a piece of cardstock? I used to have a cocky, or my grandparents used to have a cocky that would talk, and he'd say, "How you doing?" and "in the truck or the car." In the truck or the car, because my mum lived on a farm, and when they went to get milk, they'd yell out, what are you going in, the truck or the car? So the cockies say, "In the truck or the car, in the truck or the car." So, yeah. He lived a very long life, that cocky, until he made, no, this wasn't his downfall, but he wasn't the favourite cocky anymore, because my grandfather, God bless his soul, he loved his birds. Well, actually, Grandma loved the birds, but Granddad used to talk to the cocky. And he went and was giving it kisses, and it grabbed his tongue. And, yeah, he didn't do that again. But this cocky was so cheeky. All right. So just finishing off. Hey. here. Get some glue. Now I'll just quickly refresh because I know some of you are saying goodbye and I'm about to do the same. I will do a border on this because I like to have borders on my frames and my things. So thank you, ladies. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Amy, for doing all the link ninjaing, which helps our lovely ladies out. So there we go. Let me bring up some of the ones we've already done so you can see them dry, and I will create those into my tag book backgrounds later. Just give this a border. This is still a little bit, it's not wet to touch, but it's wet to draw on. So it's definitely needs to sit overnight, especially around those edges. So it just needs to sit overnight when you do use your sprays, or sit it out in the sun if you're lucky enough to create during the broad daylight. That unfortunately is not me, but I will be off to the south coast with my family on Thursday and staying for a week where I'll be spending my birthday and Easter. So there we go. There's that one. So let's have a pull out and have a look at what we've done today. And let's have a look-see at what all these backgrounds look like when they're dry. All right, so here we've seen her, we've got her. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Thank you, Nicole. Oh, hi, Wendy. You just joined. You're playing the morning. Okay. Hey, Emily. Thank you. And thank you, Marilyn. And there's that gorgeous honeycomb with those that I haven't stuck on yet. Look at that. That's the double spray. So we sprayed the background and then we sprayed over with a stencil. And there's the leftovers of that one. There's the stamping of the other stencil. The stamping of that labyrinth stencil, which is my absolute new favorite, plus some spraying over the top. There's that other stencil. You can see the shimmer around that blue. That one hasn't come out the way I'd like to. I think I was a bit too heavy-handed because it has gone through, but it's still quite wet. And then we've got this little guy. So thank you, ladies. It has been fantastic. You've been really supportive and of all the brand ambassadors and Nat. And, you know, I love these as much as you guys have. We look forward to the next one, and we look forward to seeing you soon. So don't forget that on the 1st of, which is Wednesday, we open our new ATC groups. We'll also have a new challenge in the monthly creative group, which you girls are going to love. So thank you. Thanks, everybody. Oh, thanks, Emily. And have a, you never believe my comments have just started working on my computer. So thank you, Emily. I will have a nice birthday. And thank you for watching, and we'll talk soon. Bye.